Welcome to Short Stories with AI. Subscribe now and step into a world of limitless imagination. A family's dream home becomes a nightmare when the faceless spirits emerge from the shadows, seeking their next victims. What will happen to the family? Find out in our new psychological horror story, The House Without Faces. The Cooper family. Ethan, a dedicated businessman whose success had led the family to a small town in England. His caring wife, Amy, their spirited teenage sons, Joey and Ryan, their curious 5-year-old daughter, Lily, and Ethan's elderly mother, Mary, stood before their new home, a magnificent Victorian mansion, with its tall spires, intricate woodwork, and expansive gardens. The house seemed like a perfect fit for their fresh start. As they entered into the mansion, the air was thick with dust and echoes of a forgotten past. Each family member felt a mix of excitement and unease, the house whispering secrets only it could understand. At first, they were happy in their new surroundings, but soon, small, frightening signs began to creep in. Lily, with her wide, curious eyes, spoke of strange whispers at night and of shadows moving in the corners of her room. "Mommy, there's someone in my room," she told Amy one evening, her voice barely a whisper. Amy chuckled, brushing it off. "Just your imagination, sweetheart." But the shadows felt different, darker than the ordinary. Ethan too felt a chill in the air, a sense that they were not alone. He dismissed it as the natural unease of moving into a new house, but as days turned into weeks, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. Unknown to them, the house had its own stories to tell. Stories of darkness, fear, and loss. As days passed, the tension within the Cooper family escalated. Lily began to wake up screaming, her tiny body trembling with fear. "Mommy! Someone says he wants my face!" Ethan, exhausted from work and dismissive of childhood fears, reassured her, "It's just a bad dream, sweetie." But as night fell, the house transformed. Joey and Ryan, once carefree and adventurous, started to witness unexplainable phenomena. Chairs dragged across the floor, paintings shifted on the walls, and the air grew heavy with an unshakable dread. They felt an invisible presence lurking, especially in the dead of night when the shadows seemed to deepen. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, the atmosphere turned electric with fear. The lights flickered ominously and the temperature dropped, sending chills down their spines. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the halls, causing them to jump. "Grandma!" Ryan yelled, panic gripping his voice as he rushed to Mary, who clutched her chest, her face pale. Then, she collapsed. Chaos erupted. Amy screamed for help while Ethan called for paramedics, his heart racing. As they worked frantically to revive Mary, Ethan caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of his eye. A faceless figure standing in the shadows, watching them with an intensity that made his blood run cold. Little did they know, the house was awakening, revealing its true nature. Desperate for answers, Ethan and Amy turned to the local library, an ancient building filled with dusty books and dark corners. They combed through old records, their hearts pounding as they searched for any hint of the darkness surrounding their home. After hours of sifting through yellowed pages, they discovered a book titled Whispers of the Faceless. The Cursed House of Dr. Aldridge. The air around them thickened as they read. The story detailed a chilling history. Dr. Aldridge, a once respected physician in the late 1800s, had conducted horrific experiments on his patients. He believed he could extract souls by removing their faces, leaving them trapped between life and death. His victims were said to roam the halls of the mansion, faceless and vengeful, searching for the one thing they had lost. Fear clawed at Ethan and Amy as they processed the information. Dr. Aldridge's victims weren't merely spirits, they were angry souls who craved revenge. And now, they wanted faces. "I found something," Amy said, her voice trembling as she pointed to Lily's doll. It had a smooth, featureless face, void of expression. "They took it," Lily whispered, her innocence terrifying. The reality of their situation crashed over them like a wave. The house thrived on fear, and their family was at risk of becoming the next victims. As the Cooper family grappled with the revelation, the spirits grew stronger. The faceless figures that had once appeared only in flashes now manifested more tangibly. Lily woke in the dead of night, her small body trembling as she stared at something just beyond the edge of her bed. "Mommy, it's right there!" she cried, pointing into the darkness, her eyes wide with terror. Ethan and Amy rushed in but found only Lily staring blankly into nothingness. The walls felt alive, pressing in on them, filled with the whispers of the lost souls. In desperation, Ethan contacted a paranormal investigation team. The trio of experts arrived, equipped with cameras, EMF detectors, and a deep sense of determination. As they explored the house, they confirmed the presence of malevolent spirits. "Your house is very active," one investigator said, glancing nervously around. "We've never seen spirits this strong before." During the investigation, they uncovered a horrifying truth. The spirits could only be banished by returning their stolen faces to the afterlife. But the evil entities were growing stronger with each passing night, their hunger insatiable. Suddenly, the lead investigator collapsed, his face contorting in horror. "He's coming for Lily," he whispered, fear evident in his voice. Ethan's heart sank as panic surged through him. The shadows were closing in and time was running out. As the supernatural forces escalated, the family's only hope rested in the hands of the paranormal team. They prepared for a final ritual that required immense courage and sacrifice. Lily, innocent yet inexplicably connected to the spirits, would have to confront them in her dreams, allowing the investigators to trap them in an ancient mirror hidden within the house. The family gathered in the dimly lit living room, the tension thick in the air. As they formed a circle around the mirror, the air crackled with energy. The investigators began to chant, their voices rising in a rhythmic incantation. As they chanted, strange whispers echoed throughout the room. Furniture rattled violently, and the temperature plummeted. A shadow emerged from the depths, and there stood Dr. Aldridge, his faceless form looming, his presence suffocating. "Lily!" he hissed, reaching for her with outstretched hands. Just as he was about to touch her, the lights flickered and went out, plunging the room into darkness. A blood-curdling scream filled the air, chilling them to their core. In that moment of terror, the investigators shouted incantations, their voices mingling with the chaos. The mirror began to shake violently, shards of light bursting forth, illuminating the darkness. As the light engulfed them, Dr. Aldridge's form disintegrated, his scream echoing through the halls before vanishing into nothingness. The other spirits followed suit, dissolving into the ether, leaving behind an eerie silence. As the dust settled, the Cooper family breathed a sigh of relief. They had confronted the darkness and emerged victorious, but not without scars. They buried the mirror deep in the garden, hoping to seal the horrors away forever. Yet, the experience had left its mark. Mary, shaken and frail, was never the same again. The family decided to leave the haunted mansion behind, traumatized by the events that had transpired. They returned to America, vowing to forget what had happened, but the memories lingered like a ghost in the back of their minds. Many years later, a new family moved into the house, blissfully unaware of the darkness that still lurked within its walls. As they cleaned the dark corners and dusty shelves of the library, an old book fell to the ground, opening to reveal a chilling title: Whispers of the Faceless. The Cursed House of Dr. Aldridge Part 2. Thank you for watching The House Without Faces. Will the next family fall prey to the faceless horrors that lurk within the mansion? Subscribe now, or the next haunting story might slip away unnoticed.